Sejana bhakati rasa Sejane bhakati rasa sara Gaurange radhate pada Jaradhana sampada Sejane bhakatira Sejane bhakatira sasara Gaurangera madhur lila Jara karne pravesila Haribo Hridaya nirmala velotara Jai Gauranger naam lo Tara hai premada Tare moi jai boli hari Karanga gune tajure Nitya lila tare spure Sejana bhakati adhikari Garangera sange gane Nitya siddha kore mane Vedaye Brajendra Sutta Pasha Sri Gaura Mandala Bhumi Deva Jane Chintamani Har hoye Braja Bhume Basa Gaura Premara Sarnabe Chetarange Jevadobe Radha Madhava Antaranga Bruhe Baba Nete Thake Gauranga Bole Dake Narottama Mage Karasanga Bruhe Baba Nete Thake Gauranga Bole Dake Narottama Mage Karasanga Jaya Sachi Nandan Sachi Nandan Sachi Nandan Jaya Sachi-nanda. Jaya Jaya Sachi-nanda, 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 Jaya Sachi-nanda. We have finished chapter 9. Today we are going to read a very beautiful chapter, 10 of Caitanya Bhagavata, marriage with Sri Lakshmi Priya. So, marriage with Sri Lakshmi Priya. So let us memorize, let's memorize what we all have done until now. We have covered 9 chapters. Tomorrow there is a quiz, and most difficult quiz on Caitanya Bhagavata. And text chapter 1, there is the author of Vrndavana Thakura is introducing Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He is quoting different shastras to establish Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is indeed So chapter 1 was about establishing Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as the absolute truth, Krishna. And chapter 2, in the same context, the introducing different associates of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu who actually appeared before Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So there are devotees, there are description of Navadip Dham. Navadip Dham that time was a very, very prosperous intellectual town, like a town of Cambridge or town of Oxford, town of, in the current parlance, similarly, Navadip. And we also saw that why Navadip was known as Gauda. It was Gaudapura, Gaudapura. So Navadip was, and it was flourishing. For 2300, we found out this is almost like 500 BC, 500 BC or 600 BC to 1700 AD. So almost 2300 years, this town was known as a center of learning. So, and chapter 2 is, is talking about how Advaita Acharya is worshipping Saligram with Gangajal and Tulsi to make the Lord to appear. Although Navadip was a very prosperous scholarly city, but people were reading Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam even without ever referring to Lord Krishna. So you can see the height of atheism or hypocrisy in that time. So devotees were very unhappy to see this state. And you see that time everyone is there, Advaita Acharya, Lord Nithyananda, everyone was there, but nobody, each one of them are capable of delivering this entire world. But they all wanted Lord Gauranga to come. They wanted to associate with his transcendental pastimes. That is why they only prayed that please come, Gauranga, Gaurahari, Chaitanya, Sachinandan, please come. So that is how they were all praying. And then third is the advent of Lord. And we know that how Lord made everyone to chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And then we know that there is a name, horoscope. Lord's horoscope was made by Nilambar Chakravarti. And suddenly one Brahmana, stranger Brahmana, he comes out and says, oh, he is Sakyat Narayana. He is Narayana himself. He is the deliverer of everyone. He is the Yuga Dharma Pravartaka. He will attract everyone towards himself. So, and he went on speaking. And poor Jagannath Mishra, who, he wanted to give something to this Brahmana, but he had nothing because he was a poor Brahmana. That's why he was holding on to his lotus feet and cried piteously. And then we have the chapter on a name-giving ceremony of Gauranga Mahaprabhu. So the primary name was given Vishwambhara. Vishwambhara was given because he is the maintainer of universe by awakening the dormant Krishna consciousness within all of us. That's why Vishwambhara. And then the secondary name, Nimai, and that was given because the ladies wanted this child should live many, many years. So they kept a name such that that will counteract any inauspiciousness, because already Sachi Mata has lost 7 to 8 daughters. And then we saw the pastimes of childhood naughtiness of Lord. How Lord would create how Lord would he was a small child. Of course, before that there is also another pastimes, I think that comes in name-giving ceremony, after name-giving ceremony. I think there is a chapter where, Sachi Mata and Jagannath Mishra would see something very wonderful thing about Lord Chaitanya. They will tell Nimai, go and bring the book. And Nimai will go inside and they will hear the sound of the ankle bells, rimmy jimmy, rimmy jibby. And then they were thinking, what is happening? And out of curiosity, Jagannath Mishra would go inside, and by that time Nimai has brought the book, and then he would see that there are footprints on his house, and these footprints have the symbols like flag, thunderbolt, the goad, and likes. And then these two, Sachi Mata and Jagannath Mishra will talk. Jagannath Mishra will tell Sachi Mata that it looks like our Damodar Srila is performing some pastime. Please make some nice preparation for him. And we also see that how Nimai would scatter things. He's a small, he is not even able to walk properly. He's very small. So he will scatter things everywhere, which is not possible by a small kid. And he would scatter things everywhere. And when the moment he would hear that the mother is coming or father is coming, he will go to the bed and would act as if he's lying on the bed and crying profusely, right? And then the parents would come, will take him on the lap, and then they would see things are scattered everywhere. What is happening? And then they would conclude some demon had come to do some mischief with our child. Because we have protected our child with the Nrsimha mantra, the demon could not do anything. And out of anger, he has scattered things everywhere and has fled. This is the conclusion, right? And then the most interesting thing is that as a small child, he would actually engage all the household ladies who would come to the house of Sachi Mata and the pretext to see this beautiful child, because he was very well built, very beautiful, because he naturally attracted everyone towards him. And so when they would come, Nimai would beg, Nimai would cry. And when he would cry, then the ladies would chant Krishna, Govinda, Mukunda, Achyuta, so many names. Okay, and then there are, and then when they stop, Nimai would again cry, and then this process continues. And then when they would cry to please them, because they're crying and they have to be given some reward, right? So Nimai, out of natural his transcendental quality, he will dance. And the small kid, if dances, it is very pleasing for the ladies. So ladies will chant even louder. What's happening? So ladies, Ajay Kudla, you are creating mischief. So the ladies would chant even more, with more enthusiasm. And then we saw that how to reward them, he would go and out and collect some sandes, and as prasad he will give to everyone, whoever is chanting Hare Krishna. And all of you know the other mischiefs, like sometimes he'll go out, steal somebody's rice, somebody's butter, somebody's so many things, and also lock them outside. They are feeling the call of nature, but they are locked from the outside. So all these naughty things he would do. And also we have gone through the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya. Hate Khadi. Hate Khadi means the child starts learning to write, right? So there are three things that happen: Hate Khadi, Karna Vidha, and Chuda Karna. Mandal means saving of the head. And so we know that in this pastime, Lord Chaitanya, Nimai would start, he would learn all the alphabets very fast, but he would continuously write the name of only Krishna. Krishna, Achyuta, Gopala, Govinda, Madhava. That's all he would write. He would not write anything else. Hate Khadi. And during Hate Khadi ceremony, during name-giving ceremony, not Hate Khadi, name-giving ceremony itself, Jagannath Mishra would keep in front of him the items like pedi, then gold, silver, and varieties of other things, and also Srimad Bhagavatam. And then Nimai went and picked up Bhagavatam. So everybody said, your son will become the devotion personified, because Srimad Bhagavatam is about devotion to Krishna. And we know that there was a beautiful story of a Brahmana. There was a beautiful definition of Atithi. Atithi is that person who comes today and leaves tomorrow, doesn't stay more than a day. So this Brahmana stranger was chanting 6-syllable Gopal mantra, Om Klim Krishnaya Namaha. And when he was chanting this mantra, And he was carrying Saligram and Bal Gopal deity. And in the evening time, he reached in Jagannath Mishra's place, and Jagannath Mishra saw there is a radiance. He was dazzling, in divine radiance, and then he thought that he looks like a great devotee. So Jagannath Mishra received him and washed his feet. This is how we must greet a great devotee. When a great devotee comes to our house, we must immediately wash his lotus feet. Whenever any great devotee come, people should take the bucket and or bring him inside, keep nice bartan and take a nice plate and put his feet on that and wash it. And we should do, Gopal Krishna Maharaj comes here, so many Vaishnava Maharaj, so many people, they come, and you people should be trained in this etiquette, how to receive these guests. This is very important because we have got a great heritage. So whoever comes here, we must do this. This is very important. So, and then he would be asked to cook. They will make some arrangement, clean the kitchen, and will provide all the ingredients like rice, vegetables, dal, and then he will cook. And as soon as he would meditate on his Bal Gopal, instead of Bal Gopal, who would come? Gaur Gopal. Because there is no distinction between Bal Gopal and Gaur Gopal, because Nimai is Gaur Gopal, because he is also a small kid, and here is Bal Gopal. Nimai and Krishna are non-different. So as soon as he meditated, because he is meditating on Nimai, so Nimai came and ate. He is meditating, oh Krishna, please eat from here. And Nimai came and ate, and then he is saying, hi. This boy stole my rice. And Jagannath Mishra comes with a stick in his hand and rushes and chases the little Nimai to beat him. And then the Brahmana catches, he catches the hand. He catches the hand of Jagannath Mishra, says, you are a Brahman. What are you doing? Children are always in ignorance. How can you hit them? How can you beat them? They are ignorant. And anyway, so they said, today I don't have, the providence has not made any arrangement for my for arna in my food. So bring some fruit and root. I'll be satisfied. I'm a big manga. I just move around, mendicant. Mostly I eat only, I'm satisfied with the fruits and roots. Hardly I get an occasion when I can eat arna. Today I don't have arna in my anna in my fate. So don't worry. But then Jagannath Mishra and all other well-wishers, they would catch hold of, they would catch hold of the Brahman and said, please cook again. And then again he would cook. And same thing would happen. Although Nimai was taken away, and still same thing would happen when after cooking, when he would offer, and then again Nimai would come and eat. Because he's meditating on Gaur Gopal. Bal Gopal and Gaur Gopal are non-different. So Nimai would come, eat, and same pala, same issue. And then Jagannath Mishra will become furious. That time Bisurup would come. Seeing Bisurupa, this fellow, this Brahmana forgot that he had cooked twice, and twice his bhoga has become Mara. Actually, bhoga has not become Mara. This has been accepted by Nimai. But his lamentation was completely liquidated, because when he saw the beautiful form of Vishwarupa, he was very satisfied. He said, whose son he is? And then everybody there said, "It's Jagannath Mishra's son, Mishra's son." Oh, Mishra, you are so fortunate. Anyway, so finally Bisurup would convince him, you cook. Third time. In the evening he is cooking third time. Again kitchen was clean. Again, and everything was done. And again he started cooking. Now, all care has been taken. Nimai has been locked from outside, right? And not only he was locked from outside, and Jagannath Mishra is holding the stick and is guarding. And so all those things has happened. So now it has almost become midnight. Cooking was over. And Brahman offered everything. To whom? Bal Gopal, his deity. And then Nimai put everyone into sleep. Everyone is sleeping. And he came out. How he came out? He was naked. He was dusty. Dust are all through his body. Small kids, they're all dusty. But he was looking so beautiful. Right? He came. And Brahmana saw this time much before he could put his hand on the bhoga pot. And the Brahmana said, hi, the naughty boy is again coming. And as he's shouting, it appeared that others would hear, but everybody is overtaken by Nidra Devi. Nobody is able to hear anything because Nimai is going to show special favor to this Brahmana. Then he said, what kind of Brahmana are you? You are calling me every time when I eat, you say, I'm eating. And then Brahmana showed his 8-armed form. Nimai showed his 8-armed form. In 4-arm, Narayana, other 2-arm, Makhanchor. And the other 2-arm, holding flute, Krishna. That is how Nimai exhibited. And the Brahmana was absolutely in ecstasy. He is falling to the ground, again getting up, falling to the ground, again getting up, falling to the ground, again getting up. Wow. What is happening? What is happening? And then Nimai would tell, you see, don't tell these things to anyone. Soon I am going to reveal my pastime. I am going to inundate the entire Navadip in Mahasankirtan. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And you will see it, don't worry. But never tell anyone. If you tell, I'll behead you. And then Nimai went, as usual, where everybody is sleeping. And Brahmana, what he will do? All those bhoga, because touched by Nimai, he ate and he pasted all of them, all the rice on his body, and he's dancing, he's crying, his hairs are standing on end. He's looking like a mad fellow. And he went out. Every day he will go everywhere, but every day evening he will come and see Nimai and go. Nobody could notice it. And you know that pastimes of thief, 2 thieves would come to steal Nimai's ornament, and they will hold on his shoulder and they will go away. But they thought Nimai is an ordinary child. But Nimai put them under so much of illusion. They were in Bulbulaya. You don't know Bulbulaya? Bulbulaya is there in Lucknow. If you enter there, once you go there, you cannot come out. I have not gone, but people say this is something like bulbula. And same thing here. Bulbula happened, and the thieves, finally, they thought they have come to their house, own house, but this is actually Jagannath Mishra's house. And when people saw, here is Nimai, they said, Nimai is here, because everybody is searching for Nimai. And everybody is crying. Sachi Mata is crying, Jagannath Mishra is crying, everyone is crying. What is happening? And then the two thieves realized, Baba, we are in a wrong place. Immediately they put the child on the ground and fled. Right? So many beautiful pastimes. The other beautiful pastime is the Ananta. Ananta came to perform Lila. Of course, I have told you, he would ask something which is impossible to satisfy. You know why? He would say, please give me moon. Moon. I want moon. क्या रे? बंगाली में क्या है? Moon. चांद? अरे बापी सरकार, अमा के चांद चाहिए. अमा के चांद चाहिए. So Nimai is saying, अमा के चांद चाहिए. And who can satisfy him? Then he would say, अमा के सूरज चाहिए, सूरज. अमा के सूरज चाहिए, सूर्य, सूर्यो. अमा के सूर्यो चाहिए. अमा के सूर्यो चाहिए.
স্যার আমাকে नहीं, আমার সূর্য চাই, আমার সূর্য চাই, আমার চাঁদ চাই,
আমার চাঁদ চাই, আমার সূর্য চাই.
यस सर.
আমার पक्षी चाहिए, flying birds. You would say, আমার पक्षी चाहिए. So and I don't know what these ladies and Jagannath Mishra and Sachi Mata, they are completely baffled what to do. The child is crying profusely. And finally, when they would chant, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, then with utmost sincerity, when they will do that, then he will stop. Okay? And you know that Ananta story. Ananta came to see him, and Nimai is a small kid. He will catch hold of the Ananta. Ananta is a snake, and he will make a coil, and Nimai would lie on that, and Sachi Mata is crying, Jagannath Mishra is crying, the whole world is crying. And finally Ananta said, Baba, they are devotees of Nimai. Why I should make offense to Vaishnavas? Better I leave this place. So it goes on. So these are some sweet pastimes. We also saw the naughtiness of Gauranga Mahaprabhu and Nimai. Before naughtiness, I will tell you one very wonderful pastime. That pastime is Bisurup. Bisurup had no connection with this world. He didn't look at the atheist. He had no interest. Every day he will go to Advaita Acharya's house and would read Shastra and will explain the Shastra while bringing out the ultimate purport of Shastra is to attain love of Godhead, to perform devotional service. So that is his job every day. In fact, once he was doing so, and Advaita Acharya was doing deity service, deity worship. And when he heard the conclusion, of Vishwarup, he left his deity worship, came and embraced Vishwarup and danced in ecstasy. So, so every day devotees will gather in the house of Advaita Acharya. And we saw that how one day Mother Sachi would call Nimai, 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 Dada ke dakiya cho. Correct?
नहीं सर,
Dakiano.
देखे आनो, देखे आनो,
Deke ano.
यस सर,
Deke ano. Dada ke deke ano. हाँ. Leke ano, deke ano. Deke ano. Deke ano. Dada ke deke ano. So this is what, who said? Sachi Mata. And Nimai is naked. Nimai is naked and fully dusty. And then he goes. And the moment he enters into that room where exalted devotees are sitting, he's a small kid, but he's not a small kid. He's a source of trillions of spiritual and material universes. That is Nimai. And so normally, if you're a small child, you don't dare to go to an assembly of big people, right? We used to fear a lot, actually. I remember, even when I studied 8th standard, 9th standard also, if my father and others are talking together, we will never go there. We will remain very far away. Because we know that something goes wrong, then father's stick will be ready. पर आज की जमाने में हमारे बच्चों देखो, मेरा 3 लड़की हैं मगर इनको कोई डर नहीं है. They are ready to do any kind of disturbance. This has changed, right? Zamana has changed. But anyway, when Nimai went there into that assembly, it's not that Nimai was embarrassed. The entire assembly was spellbound. Everybody were in samadhi, just seeing the beauty of Nimai. And immediately there is a question that how is it possible that these devotees, they could love this small little Nimai more than their life? So in that context, Vrndavana Das Thakur is narrating the conversation between Maharaj Parikshit and Sukadeva Goswami. When Sukadeva Goswami is narrating the wonderful pastimes of Braj, that time, he is narrating how all cowherd boys, elderly cowherd men and women, they love Krishna more than their own son. And then Maharaj Parikshit, how is it possible? It is very difficult to love anyone else other than your child, other than your children. And then he says that because our attraction for Krishna is not forced, it is natural. It's natural. Just like magnet and iron, you don't have to do anything. Magnet will naturally attract. So similarly, this attraction is natural. Okay? And and we know the naughtiness of Nimai when he went to school. He has not still gone to toll, but he has gone to school, and that means elementary school, most likely. And but instead of, he will go in the pretext of going to school, he'll go to Ganga Ghat and will do all kind of mischief. You'll pull somebody's kacha. Kacha, you understand? Somebody is wearing dhoti. you pull the kacha, what will happen? That fellow will be very embarrassed, right? Or he would hide the dress, ladies' dress of young girls. He will do all kind of mischief. He will pull people into the Ganga. They have already taken bath. They're going away, but he will put them into the Ganga. So all kind of naughty things he will do. So all people, they came and complained to Jagannath Mishra. The girls would come and they will complain to Sachi Mata. But actually, everyone is enjoying happily this interaction. Why? Because he is not Nimai. He is the super soul. He is our best friend. So everybody is enjoying internally. But then, reciprocation with Krishna is not one way. If Krishna is naughty, you have to pay back also in naughtiness. So they will go and complain. So the girls would come and complain to Sachi Mata, and the men would come and complain. Okay? So news came. Jagannath Mishra is coming with a big stick, right? After hearing the complaint. So Nimai informed everyone, all his friends also. Don't tell that I have come here. And you tell that he was not here, he has not come. But then he went. So he went in another road, and Jagannath Mishra came by another road. And when he came, everybody said, no, he is not here. He was never here. So he went away again. And then when he reached house, he saw Nimai is coming with a bag filled with books, and the hand is smeared with ink, and there is dust, and he looked completely dry. His hair is dry, as if, same dress. And then Jagannath Mishra is thinking, what is this? What is this? These people, they complain. These people, they complain. They cannot be false. They are not small kids. They will make unnecessary complaint. So they are not wrong. And I see this kid. He's saying, and he asked me, from where you are coming? I'm coming from school. I'm coming from school. You see? No, they complain. You know this now. I was not there and they're complaining. So that is their business. So Jagannath Mishra thought, he must be Krishna. How is it possible? He was in Ganga. He had done all mischiefs. And now he looks like the boy, the way he went to the school. So anyway, then came the pastimes of Bisurup Sannyas. Bisurup would take sannyas. Bisurup would take sannyas. There are two reasons. The main reason, of course, is that he didn't want to see the faces of atheists. And he was always imbued with Krishna consciousness. He had no interest in this world, naturally. So when he came to know that his father is searching for a girl, he decided to take sannyas without telling anyone. He left. And he became famous as Sankara Aranya. And when he when he left, Nimai cried profusely. Dada, ketho gela, kothai gela. I'm feeling this sense, but I can't tell because I'm not a Bengali, right? So Jagannath Mishra, Sachi Mata, everybody, Advaita Acharya, all devotees, Jagadisa and Hiranya Pandita, Srivas Pandita, you name, and all those big devotees, everybody cried profusely because they missed him. In this mad world, devotees are very rare, right? So wherever devotees are there, they should make one congregation. This is the dharma of devotees. So if we are devotees, so we should remain in one place, always, right? And what I was saying? Yeah, so the devotees were lamenting. They missed Bisurup very much. So that is Bisurup Sannyas. Sachi, Jagannath Mishra would be pacified by the people. Why you are crying? Don't you know? If those parents are fortunate if one of their sons takes sannyas. In fact, in his family, millions will go back to Vaikuntha. Why you are crying? You are a proud father. But anyway, those things would not pacify Jagannath Mishra. What would pacify Jagannath Mishra is that Krishna by his will gave me a son, and Krishna by his will took him away. And let me tell you, this is the only way a devotee should reconcile in any situation. Any situation. Suppose you became affected by infamy, then pray to Krishna. Oh Krishna, you had given me fame, now you are giving me infamy. So Jagannath Mishra is playing a perfect role. And then Jagannath Mishra would see a dream. In the dream, he sees Nimai as a sannyas. He is performing congregational chanting, congregational kirtan in Navadip. Millions are following him. He saw also he is going to Nilachal. Everything that Lord Chaitanya did, he's seeing in the dream. And then when he woke up, he told his wife that Nimai is going to become sannyas. So Sachi Mata would console him. No, don't worry. You see, Nimai is studying so nicely. Nimai has taken admission in Gangadas Pandit's stall. He is defeating Murari Gupta. He is defeating Kamalakanta. He is defeating Krishnananda. He is, he will, he was very serious those days. He'll go and write a commentary on every sutra of Panini. And what grammar they had? Not Panini grammar, some other grammar. I forgot. So they, so Satyamata said, no, don't worry. He will not do this. Okay? And so they, but anyway, Jagannath Mishra was feeling strong separation. He was thinking, if my son, one son has already taken sannyas. If the second son takes sannyas, I cannot leave. So in that mood, Jagannath Mishra left his body. And when he left his body, Nimai cried just like Lord Ram cried when he heard in Chitrakoot that his father has left his body. We read recently about, we were reading recently Valmiki Ramayana, we saw how Lord Ram fell like a rod in front of everyone as Bharat conveyed that message. So, and so this, and then finally, the 8th chapter was of all Lord Nithyananda, how Lord Nithyananda was born in Ekachakra. From the very childhood, he was Krishna conscious. He will enact the drama of Krishna, sometime Bakasura Badha, sometime Vatsasura Badha, sometime Aghasura Badha, sometime Giri Govardhan, lifting up Giri Govardhan, all kinds of drama they would do, and sometime, building a bridge by Lord Ram. So all these pastimes he would perform, and the Ekchakra inhabitants would say, how this kid knows everything, everything. And one of the very interesting pastime was that Laswan has become unconscious by Sakti Veda Bana of Ravana, and so there was a conversation between before they enacted this drama. Lord Nithyananda informed those who are performing the role of Hanuman and others that only when you bring the Gandhamadana hill, and that and there will be a doctor here, he will see where is that medicine, Mrityu Sanjivani, and when we will, you make me smell, then only I will wake up. Okay. So, but then when the Ravana, released the Sakti Veda Vana, then Nithyananda Prabhu was playing the role of Lakshman, and he became unconscious. And then his friends tried to see, because he fell so unconscious, like they realized, what has happened? And then he won't get up. And then everybody would come and he will not get up. And then everybody started crying. The elderly people came. They started crying. What has happened? And then those who were actors, they realized, oh, no. Lakshman has told us that please bring. So then Hanuman would go bring the Gandhavadana, and then there is a Vaidya. He would pick up that Mrityu Sanjivani herb and then make Lakshman to smell, and then Lord Nithyananda will wake up. So this is a beautiful pastimes. And we saw Lord Nithyananda, after some time he will go with a mendicant and will go to many tirthas. And so all the tirthas from Haridwar to Badrinath, actually he will come from Bakreshwar to Baidyanath, to Gaya, to Kashi, to Prague, to Mathura, Mathura to Pandav, Hastinapur, then Prabhas, Dwaraka, and so like that, So Pandarpur to Rameshwaram, and everywhere. So, and one of the wonderful pastime during this yatra is his meeting with Madhavendra Puripad. Both of them were disciples of Lakshmipati Tirtha, and they exhibited beautiful transcendental ecstasy because of devotional service to Krishna. So, and then Lord Nithyananda knew that Lord Chaitanya has already advented. He is performing the role of Nimai Pandit, but he didn't go to Navadip. The reason is he didn't want to disturb the Lord's scholastic pastime. He says, whenever he will invoke his Sankirtan pastime, I will go. So he remained in Mathura. So this, I think this is where we stopped, right? And I didn't go to 10th chapter today because I thought that you have to, you were all crying, or 8 chapters are too much. So I almost summarized in less than an hour. Exactly in 1 hour I summarized all 8 chapters. All 8 chapters. Of course, I also missed one very important thing, that is, and wait. So at some point of time, Jagannath Mishra would stop Nimai from going to school. So then Nimai would sit on the pot. That pot was offered, when that pot was used for, those are cooking pots used for making bhoga and offered to Vishnu. And Sachi Mata would make a comment, Nimai, that charcoal, no, when you cook a pot, there will be black soot connected to the outer portion, and that is touching the body of Nimai, and Sachi Mata is not able to tolerate that. So anyway, so Nimai will give the philosophy of Dattatreya. Says what is pure, what is impure. So he would say, if you think this was used in the service of Krishna, this is pure. Where is impurity? So in the mood of Dattatreya, he would argue, and that time everybody would come and would tell, I will chastise Jagannath Mishra. How can you keep your son from going to school? What is he going to do? And then he would be allowed to join the school again. No, so many people. No, everybody would tell. Everybody, in fact. So everybody would tell, and in fact everybody will chastise. How can you keep him in the closed thing? He's a school-going child. How can you stop him? I had also forgotten another pastime of Nimai is Upanayam, thread ceremony. And the thread ceremony, he was after Upanayam, you do bhikya. You go to your mother, ask for bhikya. You go to your father, ask for bhikya. So he performed the pastimes of Vamandev, right? So many pastimes. At least I have made your. I hope you will not be very angry with me that I told you to prepare 8 chapters tomorrow. So I have, yes. So I have already made questions from 6 chapters. 2 more chapters are left, chapter 1 and chapter 2. So dear devotees, already I have made 54 questions. Another 20 are in waiting. So tomorrow we will start a little early. So I would request 7:30. 7 o'clock you start preparing. Okay? So that we can start. They would fix the computer. Right? So that by 7:30 we'll start the quiz. This will be a very wonderful quiz. Let me tell you, my dear devotees, whatever we may do, if our attraction for Nimai is not there, Attraction for Krishna is not there. Attraction for Nithyananda is not there. When I close my eyes, Hare Krishna Mahamantra doesn't come out. When I'm meditating on something, I don't feel the dedication of Rupa or Sanatana or Narottam Das Thakur or our own founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada. I am a rascal. I am a first-class demon. So, dear devotees, that is why we have to go through these pastimes again and again, bathe in these pastimes again and again. And I would like also to share with you that we have around now 600 registration in Learn Gita, Live Gita. So I would like